Hello, welcome back to Housekeeping on a Dime. Today I want to talk about making greeting cards and not real fancy, even without skill, able to make greeting cards that not just save you money, but that also reduce waste. And that's one of, because going through to the dollar store to buy cards, 2 for $1.25 is not expensive, and we would all admit that. But my main thing is and a second priority that I have is to reduce waste. So here's some different ideas that I have developed through the years that I hope will be helpful to you. So the first idea that I have is to have a journal. So this is a journal that my husband was gifted years ago, and he doesn't write in a journal. So I had an idea, so instead of buying him cards, to have the boys and I write. Now you can see that we forgot that we had this a few times, and so I've gone ahead and taped in the card that the kids or I wrote for him. But ideally, if we would remember to use it, we would write him notes for Father's Day or his birthday or Valentine's Day or anniversary. And so then this accomplishes a few things. Number one, at the end of his life, if he would want to read it, would be something he would I know that he would treasure to have. Secondly, then it saves us the money and the thought process of going to the store and picking out a card. And thirdly, it saves a huge stack of cards in his underwear drawer that he will never look at. Or that's taking up space and not enough room in his dresser to put his stuff. So a journal, I think, is a really fun idea to start for cards instead. So I'm hoping to use this. And by the way, I wish this video had come out before Mother's Day. I know this is a huge time for graduation gifts and wedding cards and birthday cards, and it's a big time of year that you need cards, but I just didn't get this out early enough, so my apologies on that. This is a graduation card that I'm working on making with the little tassel. I've got to find something to put in the middle here. I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to talk about this in a minute. But what I did in here, because I made a money pocket to stick money inside there. And then what I did was I found these stamps, letter stamps, I think at a yard sale, yeah. And I stamped congrats grad. Now, I did one the week before, stamping out congratulations. Wow, that number one took forever. It was hard to fit all of them in the card, all the letters in the card, and it was hard to keep those letters straight. So it's not the easiest thing using these, but it does give it a level of neatness that maybe your writing can't accomplish. So stamps are a great idea, in my opinion. I found these, where was I when I found these? At a thrift shop, I think. And this stamp says happy birthday. And this one says be my Valentine. And this one says my sincere thanks. But of course, the set did not come with a congratulations stamp. So if you like this idea of stamping the word on so that it gives it more of a look like that's what the card was for, and that you didn't just buy some blank cards and write and try to turn it into a birthday card, these stamps are a game changer, in my opinion. Okay, also, speaking of blank cards, I bought these a couple years ago, happy birthday to you, stickers on Amazon. I think it was $3 or $4 for the roll. And these turn a blank card into a happy birthday card as well. And the blank cards you can buy at Dollar Tree for $8 for $1.25, and then you can turn them into anything. Birthday card, Mother's Day, Father's Day, congratulations, thank you cards. So with a stamp or stickers, you can turn blank cards into all kinds of cool stuff. I found this stack of blank cards at a yard sale. Oh boy, it was like 50 cents for a big stack of blank cards, and I've already used probably half of them this year. They've been really helpful. Probably this year I came up with an idea that I have really taken off and run with it, and that is the free VFW cards. So if you're like me, every probably 3-4 times a year, the VFW mails me these birthday cards or Christmas cards, you name it. They are getting better. I'll give them that, right? So this is their newest, their latest design birthday card. They're getting better. They even sent like get well and sympathy. Well, maybe not sympathy. Yeah, sympathy and get well cards lately. Look at that. They have a beautiful envelope with it now. But they didn't used to be. So great. And so you're left with all these cards that you don't want, right? And so then they go in the trash, I guess. And I've been trying to think, how can I use them? So one of the things I've noticed about the VFW cards is sometimes the front might be terrible, but the inside is fine. It just says happy birthday. So it's something I can work with. So what I've done is at Christmas time, I asked for this for one of my gifts, and it has been a game changer, a paper cutter. So, you know, the paper cutters that have the axe that comes down, I've always thought are so dangerous for kids. So I've never wanted one of those. But this is a nice, safe paper cutter. It has like the razor blade underneath here. And it was super cheap. It was like 12 bucks. And it has worked, and I didn't know if it would be very good because it was cheap, but it's been great. It's been really helpful. So what I do is I take a card, you know, like this one that was ugly. And let's say I didn't like that gold part because that was ugly. I put it under the paper cutter. Now, if you order this, this one is, the brand is Furbon, but I think they have other brands out there. Probably Fiskars would be the best brand, but I'm sure this was cheaper than Fiskars, so that's why I got it. And you open up your card, you lay it, okay, so make sure you know this thing comes up. I didn't know that for about a month or so, and it was difficult sliding things under. But it lifts right up, and then you just match wherever you want to cut. You match it on one of these straight lines to make sure, down in the ruler part, to make sure you're getting a straight line. So match it from the one side of the line all the way to the other. And then you just slide it across. Now, if you slide it over just the top, it won't cut it. So you kind of have to like push it down and then slide it across. And it was really impressive. It even cut like a cardboard. I wouldn't want to do that very often because I'm afraid it will dull my blade, but it did it in a pinch, so that was exciting. So then what you can do is you can stick, when you're done, you can cover up whatever ugly, you know, picture there is. You can cover it up with a blank card that does have an attractive picture on it, and then you glue it on top of it. And now I would have to trim it up a little bit more if I were using this one. And then you would have a card that has the happy birthday inside and the picture that you want on the front. And then another way you can use cards is, let's say you get a card you really like from somebody and you want to give it another life. So you can do the same thing. I can cut the picture off with my paper cutter, and then I can glue it on an ugly card and cover up the ugly picture or saying, and give a card that somebody already gave you a second life. Okay, I think I have one more idea I want to give you. And that is, I was gifted these Bible verse cards. They're from Not Consumed, and they are beautiful. And they have all kinds of great verses with beautiful artwork. I guess it's like watercolor artwork with them. And the verses are all kinds of things that are appropriate for sympathy verses, for graduation, like I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, birthday, all kinds of interesting, great things. And so you could take one of these and then you could glue it over, like, let's say you liked this picture, but you didn't like what the inside said. You thought it was pathetic. You could glue it over, and then all of a sudden, you could have a card that even has a great message inside it as well, without having to hand write it. And then your paper cutter is a game changer. Excuse me. Because you could like cut just the verse and glue it there and still have room to sign the bottom of the card. My cousin gave me a pack of these. They're prayer cards, and they have a verse on them. And they have been really great to turn into cards as well. And honestly, a lot of them I've used... and I put inside, when I sell things on eBay, I put them inside the package, and then I sign like, thank you for your purchase on the back of them. And so it's just a way to get more of God's word out into the world. I think those are all my ideas that I have for you. I hope any or all of them were helpful to you. And, you know, you might have this like stigma about homemade cards, that if you didn't spend a lot of money on these like scrapbooking supplies and your cards don't look beautiful and professional, I really don't think you have to worry about that, because, you know, it allows you to spend more money on the gift itself many times. And so many people feel guilty about keeping cards anyway, because they feel like, oh, the person spent a lot of money on this, they picked it out for me. And this way, if they don't like the card anyway, I mean, not that you want to give them a card that they don't like, you know, but it might make them feel like it's okay to toss it and not keep it. And as we know, when you store paper in your house, it loves to collect centipedes, because centipedes love dust. And I think silverfish love paper and books. So it might give them more an excuse to feel like it's okay to toss the card, enjoy it. I was given it, you know, I enjoy it, and now I toss it, and that's okay. So I hope some of this was helpful to you, and that even if you are seeing this after all the time that you had to send out cards, that maybe you'll remember some of it and can use it in your future. Take care. See you again next time. Bye-bye.